So I learned to do IVs myself. So, and I had really hard veins to stick. So I learned to do my own IVs. And
It's Suga Snake Takes.
Welcome to Suga Snake Takes with Jake Plummer, Rashad Evans, and Mike Slavin. I'm your host, Dale Jolly. We're all part of UMBO, a functional mushroom company, and we've decided to come together to share meaningful stories to get you thinking. Stories about sports, the future of athletic performance, and pretty much whatever we would like. Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
good, real good.
Yes, doing well.
Glad to be here with you guys and getting this on a Saturday morning. So this will be fun. So, Snake, you doing good?
I'm doing really well, man. Just enjoying a little bit of time with the kids at Creekside, hanging out. Just Saturday, man. Going to go to the skate park and go do some garage sailing and just roll around with the kiddos and have some fun. Cut loose and forget about everything else for a little bit and drop in and be present with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. We went to the skate park for the Longmont skate days, and they were throwing tennis balls that had free decks in it, skateboard decks, and these kids were killing each other in the bowls, fighting for these tennis balls. It was pretty fun. So
Nice.
well, let's get into our episode today. How this works, everybody knows we do kind of a theme for the day that Jake and Rashad kind of tell some fantastic stories about their past or how it relates today as well. Then we do a little trivia, which we got to have that running number there, Mike. Who's winning this right now? Because it's been kind of neck and neck with some shit answers from all of us for the last few episodes. Oh, you think you're winning?
I think Jake is actually winning. I think Jake is actually winning.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
By just
get
a little bit.
Total. We run a little trivia, do that, and then we take audience members' questions. So, again, if you guys have questions for Suga or Snake, please do that. Send those in. And whoever's question we ask, we send them some free UMBO products. So, get those questions in. So, today's theme, guys, we are going to speak about what it is you used to do post-fight or post-game for recovery. What are some of the things that y'all used to kind of dive into after either a training camp for you, Rashad, or I don't know, even an individual game or even a season, Snake? But let's start with you, Snake. You want to give us your take on some recovery post-game?
Yeah, we did a lot of off-season training. So, there was some recovery there because you're training for 5 days in a row, hitting it hard. So you learn how to take that time to rest. Mostly it was just resting, getting off your feet and, trying to chill. But in Arizona, you were also recovering from the heat, recovering from the drain of that intense amount of heat. And so after games, I'm not proud to say it, but most of the time it was go get some beer, drink some beers, eat whatever food was presented, and assess your body and assess how you feel, so you could just go get a night to relax after the game, and then know that you may have to go in and get treatment on Monday. And that was a large part of the recovery, was going in to see your trainer. With the Cardinals, we'd go in, you'd have to go check in, but I was going to see Brett Fisher, who was my personal trainer, who was really, really good. And he would assess my body and basically help me through his either treatment of massage, soft tissue, ice and stim, some stretching, some mobilizations, and a light workout. He would help me kind of get that system going, get the system moving to flush out the bruises and flush out all the buildup from the game. But yeah, then on the off day, you just try to relax. I mean, you're tired. You really don't want to go do too much. But I would always find something to do if it wasn't going golfing with some buddies, which is pretty easy on an off day, so long as my body would allow. Or go to a movie. Movies were always a lot of fun to just go to a movie and chill out. In fact, one time I was in a movie theater and I heard someone run by the movie theater and yell, "We love you, Jake." Like, I don't even know how they knew I was in there. Must have spied me coming in. But that was pretty funny. But another thing I like to do in Arizona, I lived on the back of South Mountain. And so I would just jaunt off and head up into the mountains, into the hills, just go on a little hike. And I had a little perch up there. I could go hit, chill out, and just kind of like decompress with my dog Willis, my basset hound, and find some time just to chill out. So that's how I did it. That's what I did on my off days. It was always short lived because, Monday treatment, you go do some stuff. Then Tuesday was a full off day. But man, that day went by fast. And, before I knew it here in Denver, I'd get that fax machine. Yeah, a fax machine would ring and beep, here comes the game plan for next week. So there goes all my fun. It's over Tuesday about 6:37, sometimes 8. There goes the day off. Now I'm down charting plays, drawing out formations, drawing out the plays, drawing out progressions, and just trying to get this stuff in my brain so I could get ready to go approach Wednesday's meetings and Wednesday's practice. So quick, short-lived off days because you're right back into it. But definitely didn't do much other than what I said. There was no IVs or electrolyte infusions or hyperbaric chambers or anything like that. It was just letting our body heal. And I was really impressed at how that process went about. Like, to get beat up like we did, to Monday feel pretty sore. Then, Rashad and Dale, you guys know, like, usually the next day you're okay, but it's that second day when that pain just starts. Oh my God, like my neck right here would be so sore. I'd find spots in my body where I didn't even know I had like been hit, like big, huge bruises across my back. I'm like, where? I didn't even feel that till Tuesday afternoon. And then by Wednesday, you'd feel a little better. Thursday, you're rolling. And Friday, you're back to being a close to 100%, as close as you can get. And so I marveled at the human body, how well it recovers on its own just by its pure, systems that are in place. So I was always really I actually really liked it. Like, wow, I recovered from a ass kicking in like 3 days, 4 days. I'm ready to go out, and I'm as primed and as ready to go as any other athlete on the field. And I just marveled at the human body, how well it recovered.
Did you learn to hate the sound of the fax machine because once you heard that noise, it meant that it was over?
Yes. It was like, no, there it goes. My Tuesday's over. But nowadays the guys go in on Monday, they go in Tuesday. There's really no days that they take off necessarily. I'm pretty sure, it's pretty much a right back into it. So, I had fun. I had my fun though. I had my fun on Mondays, Tuesday. So I made sure when that fax came in, I was ready, but it always was like, oh God, not yet. I'm not ready.
That's like the ticking clock of the 60 Minutes episodes on Sundays. I remember hearing that tick, 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 and just for some reason it always would aggravate me because it reminded me I got school tomorrow. So never a fan of those noises. Right
That's
on.
a good
That's
one.
great. Rashad, give us your take on a little bit of post-camp, post-fight recovery. That's probably a little bit different, especially if you took a beating, man. I'd love to hear how you approach that.
Yeah. Well, in MMA, the training is always the hardest part. It's ridiculously hard to the point where, you have to constantly assess yourself throughout the training in different phases in which you're trying to accomplish in those phases. So in the training, in the early part of the training camp, it was a lot of hard physical labor, a lot of rounds and a lot of just beating the body up. And then towards the middle, you kind of taper it down. And towards the end, you kind of taper it down even further than that and just really work shorter time and really trying to get the body to starve for that much action, that much, physical output that you've been doing in the beginning of the camp. But then the body is going to be really going to the part where it's trying to recover. And that's where implement using a lot of IVs and, finding somebody to give you IVs consistently on a weekly basis became a very hard thing. So, and I didn't want to pay anybody. So I learned to do IVs myself. So, and I had really hard veins to stick. So I learned to do my own IVs. And every Friday it was glutathione, phosphatidylcholine, vitamin C, and whatever goodies that I can pack in this bag. But it would just be, I would just, order these 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 supplements, and I'll put them in the IV bag, and I'll just do them. And then I'll do that pretty much every Friday up until my fight. And then before I fight, I usually got like I usually gave blood about 2 weeks before. So it kind of got rid of all of that old blood and got rid of all that old inflammation and those kind of things, and got some new blood than I did like 2 weeks beforehand. So it gave my body enough time to really build itself back up. And then, after I made weight, it was IVs as well too. But then when the drug and the USADA came in, they put it into the whole IV thing. So then I had to just kind of drink water at a very slow rate in order to get the same benefit. But IVs were a big part of really bringing your body back in MMA. And I use hyperbaric chambers, and I also use uh, you know um, cold plunges and all those different things. But see, it's kind of different because in MMA, like when I first started, it was kind of going off of the old mindset of just like it's about being tough and it's about being durable. And then somewhere towards the middle, toward in the end, it was all about recovery. It was all about forming. It was all about just kind of getting your body to feel better. So I adapted to those times, but at the same time, I feel like I was like my camp and my team were like on the forefront of really starting the whole like IV revolution and all those things in mixed martial arts.
I haven't had many IVs. Did you feel like an immediate difference since it's going direct into your bloodstream? Was it like instant, or did it still take a few hours to really take effect?
No, it took a few hours, but for the most part, it depends on how depleted I was. I could feel it immediately, especially when I did like the glutathione and stuff like that, and you can taste the glutathione in your mouth as it hits your veins. You can actually taste it, and I will feel those right away. But it was a really much needed process because I don't know if I could have made it through camp without it. And just from a hydration standpoint, because I'm training 2 to 3 times a day, and I'm sweating at least 7 to 10 pounds each
Wow.
training session. So I would lose so much weight every single time I trained that I had to constantly stay on top of
Did
the
you
fluids.
did you do it yourself, or were you advised on the mixtures that you put the juice that you put in? Were you advised on that, or did you do the research yourself and come up with it?
I was advised on it. I was advised on it, and I got a protocol from a doctor. And once he gave me the protocol, I would just mix my bags myself after, because he had the whole thing set up with the mixture, and he had a nurse administrate it. And then after a while, he couldn't find a nurse. He's like, "Yeah, you guys are kind of coming in a lot." And I was like, "I could do this," because what ended up happening most of the time, because my veins are so hard to hit, I would end up having to find the veins for the nurse anyway. So I'm like, I don't need them to do this because a lot of times they stick me like 8 times before they found a really good vein to go into. So I learned to find the
So
best
you're
vein
you're
on
a
the first shot.
phlebotomist.
Yeah, yeah. I got good. I gave my friends up my IV and
Nice.
everything. I got pretty good at
Dude,
doing
I didn't know that. Paging Dr. Evans. Like, why are we not doing
it.
IVs when you're out here?
Yeah.
We should definitely be getting some IVs.
I'm telling you, we should IV party. Yeah, absolutely,
That's
bro.
crazy. Yeah, that's a lot different than the way I've ever done it. That's cool.
Yeah, I'll hang these IVs on hangers and hook them up to my on my wall. I'll have all kinds of crazy contraptions to put the IV on.
That's
Dr.
crazy.
Dr. Evans discount IV bags.
Maybe if we
Definitely got to
start
Uh,
sign
a
some
clinic,
forms before that
Rashad,
goes down.
start a clinic. People can come in, they can
What's
get
that? I know. I'm telling you.
awesome. Well, guys, it's time for the Suga Snake Showdown. We got another one in the books. And Dell, you mentioned really considering who's winning right now, but I think up till now we've been in preseason. We've had some hiccups. There have been a few, kind of curveballs thrown at us, and you know, today is really when things are going to start to kick off and get serious. So we're taking off the training wheels, guys. You're not going to get a
all right.
second chance. This is just one shot and done. Sudden death. You get one answer. All right. And we're gonna start here with Dell. This is a bit of This is related to the sort of off day kind of recovery stuff. We've got some folks here who have made some questionable dietary choices inside of their professional career. And it's about who said what. So, Del, we're going to kick off with you, okay? The question is, which pro golfer said, I don't drink water. I hate water. I cannot stand drinking water. Was it A, Phil Mickelson, B, John Daly, C, Tiger Woods, or D, Arnold Palmer?
Ooh, that's tough because the old Arnold Palmer, but my favorite golfer in all the world is John Daly. So I'm going to have to go with him because that dude, he's not drinking water out there. I can assure you that. So it's either might be the Arnold Palmer, but I'm going with my boy John Daly.
He's going with B, John Daly. That is correct.
Good answer.
Yes.
That was pretty obvious. That was pretty obvious.
I don't know, not with the Arnold Palmer, man. Like, there's nothing better
What
than
do you think, Arnold
Palmer.
Yeah, but do you think he was drinking lemonade and iced tea all day? And Arnold Palmer was drinking water. John Daly was smoking cigarettes and drinking beer on the golf course, kicking everyone's ass.
Check this clip
of athleticism.
You've also calculated that you drink upwards of 515 gallons of Diet Coke a year, and that was based on drinking 15 cans of Diet Coke a day. And it might have lessened some, but how do you even consume that much soda in a day?
I used to drink anywhere from 12 to 20 Diet Cokes a day.
How?
I went to McDonald's 3-4 times a day. To me, they always had the best fountain Diet Coke. I don't know, because I don't drink water. I hate water. I cannot stand to drink water.
You don't drink water at all?
No, Rich Beam and some of the guys, they call me the camel because I don't drink water. I never drink water on tour.
That is peak physical performance right there, Rashad. Take a look at that. That right there is the definition.
I want. Is he still alive today? Is he still?
That man needs an IV. We need to get you over there, Rashad.
He needs an IV of Diet Coke.
He can't. He cannot still be alive. He cannot still be alive. There's no
I bet
way.
you he's aged pretty rapidly.
You guys are just jealous of his athleticism. It's okay.
I'm jealous of the suit.
Jeez.
But all right, moving on, Rashad. This will be your question. When asked about his diet, which Olympian said he eats mostly chicken nuggets? Was it Simone Biles, Michael Phelps, Usain Bolt, or Katie Ledecky?
I am going to say it was Michael Phelps. Oh my gosh.
Usain.
Oh my gosh.
Usain Bolt.
Usain. Wow.
Oh, I thought I was going to say the same boat.
Like when you were going into a major competition, what did you eat? Vegetables?
Nah.
Tofu? What is it? I want to be fast.
Mostly chicken nuggets. I know, it works.
Really?
Stick to what works.
The McDonald's people are really happy right now. You know, yes, the hamburger or something like Mayor McCheese, did you hear this? Yeah!
When you got the gift, when you got the gift and you have it, it doesn't matter what you put in. I've been around guys on the football field. I mean, a guy like Simeon Rice, a guy like Keith Poole at ASU. These guys, they didn't eat healthy. They ate whatever was in front of them, and usually it was fast food, and they balled out. They just had the gift.
In the Beijing Olympics, he didn't trust eating anything else that would disrupt his stomach, so he had 1,000 chicken nuggets during that.
Well, wait a minute. Yeah, in his defense, though, I've been in China before, and I wasn't eating nothing but chicken nuggets either.
All right. Now we're on to Snake.
Bring it.
Which NBA player admitted yes to accusations he would wrap an Egg McMuffin and sausage patty in a pancake with extra butter and syrup while yelling at his teammates from a stationary bike at practice? Was it A, LeBron James, B, Charles Barkley, C, Shaquille O'Neal, or D, Larry Bird?
I'm going to go with the round mound of rebound, B, Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley.
Yes. He was the round mound, man. You can't get a round mound of rebound without having some food like that in your body.
This caught my attention. I have to ask you about it. Jason Williams told Vice Sports a story about you showing up to practice, eating McDonald's breakfast while exercising on the bike and yelling at your teammates. Is that the truth? What is the truth behind that story?
That's the truth. You know, when I got to Philadelphia, Dr. J, Moses Malone, Maurice Cheeks, they never practice. They sit on the side on the stationary bike eating McDonald's. So once I had been in the league X amount of years, I adopted that philosophy. I had played 48 minutes the night before. I wasn't going to get up the next morning to go to practice. And I always go with the Egg McMuffins and the hot cakes and sausage, too. That's the best breakfast you can get.
And you wrap it up together. That's what he said, right?
Oh yeah.
Love Charles Barkley, man. Love that dude.
Ooh.
I love that he had no shame about it whatsoever.
Yeah, McDonald's
No
and
shame.
I don't know. I mean, Umbo, we try to, take your health back in your own hands, and we're talking a lot about mushrooms. I think that maybe we need to figure out the old McMushroom Big Mac or something like that, because McDonald's making a big appearance here in this peak performance.
And
Right.
you know who we get is Brent Musburger to be our spokesman. We could just call him Brent Mushburger. Already.
Brilliant.
I want to see if the Hamburglar
Musburger.
get a sponsorship from the Hamburglar. Where it's at.
You know what? You know what's funny? It pisses me off when these athletes actually like endorse fast food. It's like, I don't know why they do it. It's just one day there's going to be an athlete that endorses organic, vegetables and stuff like that. And that's really what I like to see, and challenge some of these athletes today to stop endorsing Sprite and sugar sodas and endorse some stuff that's good for these young kids that are very impressionable, and looking at them like, oh, I drink Gatorade and eat McDonald's to make it to the league. Like, no, you drink Gatorade and eat McDonald's to get diabetes and be unhealthy.
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
John
A lot
Daly
of truth
to
that.
start, become a spokesman for some water. That poor guy.
Yeah, I adopted that punch. I punch my kids in the face every time we drive by a McDonald's. So that way when they see a McDonald's, they think of that. And that was from Super Size Me, that documentary. He said he punches kids in the face every time they see a McDonald's, so that if they see a McDonald's, they think, oh no, I'm going to get punched in the face and never eat that shit.
Never
They
asked
did
for
away with
it.
the supersize after that episode, but Usain, Charles, and John Daly would all disagree with you, Snake. Saying, man, they're on to something.
Some of the best in the world, so good for them.
This could use a fact check, but that Super Size Me video or movie was very popular in sort of creating a anti-fast food sort of response from culture, which is probably a good thing. But it turns out that Morgan Spurlock was also drinking very, very heavily throughout the entire recording of that documentary. So when they saw that his liver was having all this impact, it was really the alcohol, and it was maybe just fractionally the fast food. So.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Good to know. All right, McDonald's is open. Let's do it.
All right, let's move into some community Q&A here. This is a good question here for you, Jake, from an old Sun Devil. He said it's T-Stick. I'm an old Sun Devil like yourself, Jake. What would you recommend as a mushroom supplement to increase memory and focus and decrease mental aging as I get older?
Yeah, T-Stick, go Devils. That's sweet. Good question. I've been going back and forth on all the different types of mushrooms. What we supply in most of our product, there's really 4 of the main ones you want to look at is reishi, turkey tail, lion's mane, and cordyceps. But every day there's findings coming out of just recently cordyceps being really good for, blunt force trauma to the head, keeping the blood supply, keeping your cells at a cellular level, ready to repair what damage is done. So that helps increase your memory because you're not losing memory from that damage. But if we had to pick one, what the research is showing is that lion's mane is definitely one that helps with neuronal repair and growth, and also neuronal projection, which is when your pathways are out searching, they get to a spot and then they send out a bunch more little, tendrils out to go search for more connections. So if you had to stick with that, lion's mane would be the best one. But I believe also reishi is such a good thing for your nervous system that it helps you kind of calm down, takes a little bit of helps your ability to cope with stress, which all of them together, I believe, help with your memory and, help with your focus. Sometimes focus can just be what you're putting in your body too. If your body is running on sugar and processed foods and caffeine all the time, focus can be tough. So, just mushrooms alone won't solve every problem, but we know that taking them helps your body function at a higher level, helps those systems that you need to increase memory and focus, and also decrease not just mental aging, but aging in general. You take the mushroom supplements, you take the umbo products, your body doesn't work as hard to do the normal things that it's supposed to do for you to function. And that's why I put into the medicine every day when I take it, is that this is helping me function, and it's helping my body work more efficiently with less effort, spending less fuel, which then increases memory, focus, and decreases that aging process.
Rashad or Dale, you guys have anything to add to this question?
No, I think Jake pretty much hit it all on the head.
Yeah, I would just add one thing to consider too is the gut and gut health. Gut being the 2nd brain, and just a statistic is there's 100 million neurons in your brain, and there is 500 million neurons in your gut. So turkey tail is the most studied functional mushroom. A lot of papers out there about it, and using it as a prebiotic to kind of help your gut biome will ultimately improve your brain health. So I think in our lifetime, we'll see a lot of connection between your gut health and dementia and Alzheimer's, and trying to figure out how to correlate the two. So turkey tail and lion's mane, if I were to say you got to take 2 mushrooms for brains, it'd be those 2.
Roar and gobble, gobble. Just remember, roar and
Yep.
gobble, 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 gobble. Lion and a turkey, man, and you're going to be on it.
Yep.
Awesome.
Right on. All right, fellas. Well, that concludes another fantastic episode of Suga Snake Takes. Appreciate everybody joining us, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.
See you guys.
Peace out.